Yes, this is
Great. Well, welcome to Town of Hyde Park's Town Board meeting. It's our regular meeting, a public hearing and workshop for Monday, September 23rd, 2019 at 7 p.m. Let's pledge allegiance to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I please have a motion to accept the minutes for September 9th, 2019 meeting?
Make a motion to accept them?
And a second?
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. And can I also get a motion for after the meeting to have an executive session?
I will make that motion now.
And a second?
I will second it.
Excellent, thank you. And then we have public comment on resolutions only. There's a time limit of 3 minutes. If you'd like to come up and have a comment on any of the resolutions, please just state your name and address. Any comments for tonight?
Nope.
All right, great. So we do have two public hearings on the docket tonight. The first one is continuation adoption of proposed local law number H of the year 2019 entitled Local Law Amending Chapters 40 and 108 of the Town of Hyde Park Town Code to provide for the Office of Deputy Building Inspector and set forth the powers and duties of said officers. Is there any comments on that tonight? I don't believe there is. Warren, is that something we can close tonight?
Yeah, we can
comments?
close the public hearing. Just to briefly explain what the law is. There was some, the town is going to be hiring a deputy building inspector. And the town would like to have the deputy building inspector have the same enforcement powers, not administrative powers, the enforcement powers that the zoning administrator has with regard, and the same enforcement powers that the building inspector has with regard to enforcing chapters 40 and 108 of the building code. So all this law does is amend the town code provisions to give that power to the deputy building inspector. We made some tweaks to the law after the last public hearing, but they're very minor tweaks. They don't change the substance of the law. So the law in final form is ready to be adopted tonight.
Great.
Great, then can I have a motion to close this public hearing?
I'll make that motion.
And a second?
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Great. And then we have a second public hearing tonight. This is also a continuation of the public hearing for local law C of 2019 entitled Amendments to the Town Code and Amendment to the Town's Comprehensive Plan with regard to the creation of a Town Core Zone District. Is there any comments tonight on that public hearing? I don't believe there is. And Warren?
So we're still working on some changes to that law, and we've met with our planning consultant and discussed changes. We're actually waiting for her to come back to us with some amendments to that law, and we're hoping that that'll be ready for enactment very shortly. So I'd like to just continue the public hearing on that till next month.
Great, so can I have a motion to keep the continuation of local law C?
I'll make that motion.
And a second?
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
And we would continue that to the second. We have 2 meetings in October.
The 7th or the?
Let's do it to the 21st. Yeah.
Great, so we'll keep that open until the 21st, okay, guys?
You're right.
Yep.
And then we have our town engineer here, Pete. Pete, if you'd like to come up to the table, this is going to be discussions and suggestions on projects for the 2020 Community Development Block Grant application and submission. I know Pete has some new information for us with
Yeah, we do.
regards to Hackett and all that.
Yep. Okay, so I sent everybody last Wednesday an email that kind of summarized where we are. There was a little bit of an issue. I'm going to get up and pass out. There was a new map. I think that I sent it. Unfortunately, the 2020 Community Development Block Grant application that we all got had a link to the census maps. The problem was they were the 2014 census map, and the census maps were updated in July of 2019. So they didn't link the correct maps. So the maps that I showed you the last time were the incorrect maps. So I'm going to pass out the updated ones. I think I sent this with
You did.
or
Yeah. You did.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pete.
Thank you, thank you.
I don't have an extra one. Yeah, I'll take it.
Oh, good. Thanks. It's better than the computer.
So Pete, I think in your email, you were thinking about maybe going back towards the Dinsmore?
Well, yeah, Rob had a meeting, well, let me just, as you can see, on this map, there's a small, red X
Yes.
that's at, Hackett Hill.
Yeah.
And, unfortunately, the nearest, low to moderate income area is just south of White Oaks Road. So the last, census map, Hackett Hill was in it, and now it's not. So you can see on here, the areas. So I had quite a few conversations with both Rob Pollard, also Ann Saylor, down at the Community Development Block Grant Office. Rob had met with the Rec Commission, and so they looked at possibly doing something over at Beck Park, because Beck Park is in one of the eligible areas. But they decided that, being that Dinsmore Park was in an eligible area, that it might be good, being we've already got plans done, to go back to the pickleball court. Now, I had mentioned to him that, I thought that being we already had plans together for the pickleball court and the basketball court, and he had said that at some point in time that they still would like to do the basketball court up there. I suggested that we basically bid the same plans with a couple small modifications that I think that he wants to make, and I think we'll probably get some better prices. We bid this in the summer this year. Most contractors were busy. It would be good to bid it over the winter time. This way it could be on somebody's list, early on for next year. So, I suggested that we do it as an ad alternate, so that they either pick the pickleball court as the base bid, or the basketball court as the base bid, and then whichever one, is left, do that as the ad alternate. So as you know, we get a price for the ad alternate, but if we don't like the price, then we don't have to, accept it. So, because I said, look, if we're gonna get, let's say that we did get the maximum grant award for parks, which is $100,000. You'd have, $100,000 to put towards, the project, and then maybe you'd have to take, if you want, $50,000 or $60,000 out of the recreation trust fund to do the other work. And, we'd probably get a better price if we did them both at the same time versus doing the pickleball and then like a year from now or 2 years from now doing, the basketball court. So he liked that idea. I think they may have another meeting tomorrow night.
They are.
So, is it?
They are.
Okay.
They're gonna meet up at Dinsmore.
Okay.
They're gonna meet up.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll have to call him, because I mentioned to him that if he wanted me, to stop up, that I would. 'Cause I-
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock? Okay.
Dinsmore.
All right, I'll give him a call, tomorrow. So,
Did the county seem that this would be a good,
oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, she said because, number one, it's in an eligible area. Number two, you've already got,
the plans?
the plans done, so there's like a commitment there that the town wanted,
Yeah.
to do it. So, she thought that one would rate pretty highly, and we didn't get a award last year, so,
Right.
so I think this one would, be up there. It's kind of a shame because, I think everybody was getting excited about doing something, really good over, at Hackett, but that doesn't mean that they still can't.
That's right.
I mean,
If we can improve 2 parks.
sure.
Let's do that.
So, if we only want to spend $100,000, like at Dinsmore, all right, well, then you take some more money and then you do a nice playground over, to Hackett, like we were talking about, the last time. It's just, just unfortunately, it's not in low to moderate income
When do we
area.
have to submit for this?
Well, I think you've got on your agenda tonight to set a public hearing for October the 7th. We don't need to name the specific project, like tonight.
Okay.
October the 7th, is basically we hear comments.
Right.
We basically pick it that like night, whichever, the project is. Now, we're going to have a pretty good idea, because I have to file a letter of intent with the county by October the 4th, which is okay. We've still got some time, and, we'll talk about it, and, they're having their meeting tomorrow night, and, we'll email and stuff, so,
Are they on board with this idea, or do you think they might have any other ideas?
on board with the Dinsmore,
Yeah.
the Rec Commission?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Because they suggested it, because, honestly, I think outside of Beck Park and Dinsmore Park, those are the only two parks that are in, the eligible areas, so.
They're trying to figure out whether pickleball or basketball, what'll get us the best bang for our buck, so.
Right.
So
What did that come in at
that was
before the bid,
discussion.
do?
I want to say it was about, the lowest bid combined for the two was about 160.
Yeah,
And the
Which was
county
ki-
gives us around 100 for,
Yeah, that's, the max that we could
Right,
get,
right,
100,
right.
but,
so
yeah.
to do both, it might be 40 to 60, depending on how the bids come in?
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that, again, if we bid it over the winter time, we'll get some more interest and,
Right.
so.
yeah.
But I'll call Rob in the morning and see if he wants me, to stop up. I think it may be good,
think
I
it'd be
do
good.
too.
only because this way we could kind of get a better, handle on things. Are you going to be there?
Yeah. I'll be
Okay.
there, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think it's good, because they're actually gonna look and see where possibly they could go up there, the pickleball court, if you do that.
Yeah.
So your input probably.
yeah, we had that on the map, so, and I can show him.
Yeah.
I can show 'em.
Because they asked me, and I wasn't sure where.
It was right next to, well, not right next to the basketball
Okay.
court, but 20 feet or so, 30 feet away from it,
Okay,
so,
good.
with a fence in between. So, so that's where we are right now, so as long as the town board goes ahead and sets the public hearing
We'll do it
for
tonight, yeah.
October 7th, then we're on track. Good.
Great. And just one other question, if you don't mind. Last time
Sure.
you were here, we mentioned the water line. Did you have a chance to look at that over at Pine Woods and what was going on with that?
I went over there, Rob and I went over there, and it's actually off right now. So I'm going to talk to somebody that I know that's good with trying to figure out, leaks, to try to, isolate it. I have a feeling that it's in the water fountain,
Oh.
up by the base. My guess is that something came loose at the base.
Okay.
Because that's, we did that water line, I think that was in your guys' almost your
was, yeah.
first year of office. That was
Right.
like 2010.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it's brand new. I mean,
Right.
I don't believe that there's like a leak in it, but there are a couple ways that we can,
Okay.
check it out. But my guess is that it's probably at the base of that water fountain, because we've had some problems with that water fountain.
Okay.
So, with
Right.
moving it around and, like shifting it, so.
Right.
My guess is something probably came loose at the bottom of it,
Great.
but,
Well, thank you for
So.
being here tonight, and thanks for going out for the
All right.
meeting tomorrow. That'd be good.
Yeah.
okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Pete.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. All right, so then, moving right along, we will go to resolutions.
Okay. Resolution 923-1 of 2019. Resolution adopting local law number H of the year 2019 entitled "A Local Law Amending Chapters 40 and 108 of the Town of Hyde Park Code to provide for the Office of Deputy Building Inspector and set forth the powers and duties of said officer."
Can I have a second?
Second?
And let's do a roll call on that, please, Donna?
Councilman Krupnik.
Aye.
Councilman Ray.
Aye.
Councilman Marine.
Aye.
And Deputy Supervisor Schneider.
Aye.
Resolution 923-2 of 2019, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to create a new full-time deputy building inspector position and to appoint Fred J. Riley Jr. to said position.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 923-3 of 2019, resolution acknowledging the resignation of Town of Hyde Park Highway Motor Equipment Operator Mark A. Seward.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 923-4 of 2019, resolution acknowledging the appointment and authorizing the salary of full-time motor equipment operator Quayshawn Smith for the Town of Hyde Park Highway Department.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye. Resolution 992-3 of, or 5 of 2019, resolution authorizing the town clerk to waive the fee for marriage license certificate when either of the parties making the application for such certificate is a member on active duty in the Armed Forces of the United States.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
That's nice.
Resolution 923-6 of 2019, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to reappoint Jennifer Mund as the sole assessor for the Town of Hyde Park.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 923-7 of 2019, resolution authorizing Town of Hyde Park Deputy Assessor Mara Rothman to attend the Apartments and Condominiums one-day seminar at Columbia Green Community College.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye. Resolution 923-8 of 2019, resolution authorizing the release of the balance of escrow for the Town of Hyde Park zoning administrator.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution 923-9 of 2019, resolution authorizing the release of the balance of escrow from the Town of Hyde Park Zoning Board of Appeals according to resolution number 19-01Z.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 923-10 of 2019, resolution authorizing Town of Hyde Park Police Officer Joshua Tucker to attend the Axon Academy Taser CEW instructor course.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye. Resolution 923-11 of 2019, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to schedule a public hearing to discuss the intended use of Community Development Block Grants Fund for 2020.
And
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
And again, that'll be for October 7th at 7:20 PM.
Resolution 923-12 of 2019, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to support the Dutchess County amicus brief filed with the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of New York in support of the New York State lawsuit against the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 923-13 of 2019, resolution authorizing the town supervisor to execute security agreements to guarantee completion of the original road scope of work, water supply system work, the new road construction work, and the wastewater treatment plant work for the enclave at Hyde Park.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye. Resolution 923-14 of 2019, resolution commencing proposed local law K of the year 2019, entitled, "A Local Law to Override the Tax Levy Limit for Fiscal Year 2020 Pursuant to the General Municipal Law."
Second.
Now, this is just a precaution. We do this every year. This is actually a New York State law. If we exceed the tax cap, we have to pass this evening. If we do not have to exceed it, then we will just, vote to rescind.
We rescind it.
Okay?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 923-15 of 2019, resolution authorizing commencement of administrative remedies pursuant to Town Code Section 84-3B with regard to 7 South Cross Road, Statsburg.
So I spoke to Rich today about this property. Unfortunately, Rich couldn't be here this evening. This property's been an ongoing issue. Rich has finally tracked down the owner of this property, which is actually Wells Fargo. He has reached out to Wells Fargo numerous amount of times, and they do not want to take any type of responsibility for the property. Great neighbors, right?
Yeah.
So we had them go into court August 23rd, and we are going to be setting up a trial date. But really, what we like to do is get in there and get this place cleaned up. I'm assuming we're probably going to have to get Pete. I should have talked to him about this before you left, because I think this job might be a little bit too large of a scope for our highway
Yeah,
department.
we may have to put it out to bid.
We might have to put, I mean, there's a lot of
Real
garbage.
It's a
I don't know
mess.
if you saw the pictures
It's horrible.
there.
Yeah.
It's horrible. And I'm just shocked that, a bank like Wells Fargo that's in our community will allow that to happen. So anyone that's in the audience or watching TV that has an account with Wells Fargo, they should go in and tell them how displeased they are and how they treat our neighborhood. So, did I get a
We did
second
not.
on this?
No.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This should be a motion?
No, he made the motion.
Oh, you made the
Oh, I
motion?
made the
Okay.
motion.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Somebody second.
Resolution 923-16 of 2019, resolution authorizing the town supervisor to execute a pilot agreement and agreement to guarantee decommissioning of the Cream Street Solar LLC facility located on Cream Street having tax parcel number 133-200-6263-01-465957 in the town of Hyde Park.
I have a question before I second it. The money that's put aside to decommission, this is after the usefulness of it? Is that what that means?
No, we're not putting aside, it's actually, the resolution itself is just authorizing the town supervisor to sign a decommissioning agreement and a pilot agreement when they are in acceptable form to me.
Okay.
And we've been working with them, and so far, we have not had those agreements put in acceptable form. We don't hold any money where they're gonna post a bond
Okay.
for
But
this.
this figure's what we're thinking
That
about?
was the figure that was recommended by our engineer.
Okay.
And it will be, I've asked Pete to review that to make sure that that's accurate. And we also are going to have a provision for every 5 years, we're going to review that figure and increase the bond appropriately if the cost of decommissioning increases.
Goes up. Okay, great. I'll second that.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Great. Then we're going to take a brief moment to go into executive session. Are you guys with student government? So before we go into executive, you need to get some things signed, right? So if that's okay with you guys before we go into executive?
Certainly,
Would you
of course.
guys like to
Want to make your motion?
come on up? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry.
And we're going
So
to
this
executive
is,
session to
we're signing
discuss-
proof that they were here,
Oh,
basically?
Yeah.
That they attend.
Donna, we have to have it on the record. We're going to executive session to discuss litigation, specifically the Hughes zoning violation.
What was his name? One of my signings
Hey, guys.
that you've been here, right? Arlington. Oh, I went to
Where do you
That's
want
all
to
right. We don't hold that
Where-
against you.
let's see, what
Time of your life.
You do this, do name, do the tentative.
Well, you didn't fill this
You
in.
can put that fine location, you put the location.
Yeah.
Witness would be me.
What school you guys with?
You get that one.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Today is 9/22.
It was kind of an easy meeting for you guys tonight. Sometimes they can be pretty lengthy and, yeah.
Yeah, you picked
How you
it.
guys doing, all right? School just started for you?
Huh? Yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
Does anybody else need, you need to fill? You come.
You're welcome. You all set? Great.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
Okay, you're welcome.
Good night.
You all set? Everybody set?
Everybody got it?
Everybody was
Thank
signed?
Okay.
You need signed?
You would have been in trouble.
What do they do? They go back to that classic
Oh, the
And-
witness?
exciting thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no fights or anything tonight.
Right.
Easy night.
I stand.
Enjoy, thank
Get
you.
along pretty well.
Oh, yeah. No,
All
I'll
right,
be
Donna,
there.
we will be, so we're all set to go in?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
I agree.
we're not going to be taking any action.
Okay,
Oh, no.
take your time. I'll clean up. No problem. Not a problem. Give me
You
a
have to
chance
wait?
Pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't worry about it. I'll wait. Not a problem.
Maybe a couple hours.
Yeah.
Can I have a motion to come back to our meeting?
To make a motion to that?
And second?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And no decisions were made tonight. Okay. And can I have a motion to close?
I will make that motion.
And a second?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
And I just want to remember, next Monday, we have a
Special
quick
meeting.
town board meeting at 7 PM for Supervisor to give us her
preliminary budget.
Okay?
Terrific.
Excellent.
Tentative, that's what I, tentative,
Tentative.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Thank you, Donna.
Anytime.
That's why I love Donna, she keeps me honest.
Somebody gotta,
All right.
Good evening.
You're good.
Have a great night, thank you.
Monday.
Yeah, you
No,
too.
you did good,
What
thank
happened
you.
to the
Oh, yeah,
dark
special.
now?
Yep.
what? Oh, I know.
Yeah, I know it.